Right, you come look at these, buddy. So these are kind of the before and after. Now you look at these two swings. I'm effective in the same position relative to the target line where you're going to be down there, okay? So I'm just inside the sort of the club head line, in between the hand line, that and stuff. But it looks on this one like I'm further over, because when you swing it, as you start going back here now in the takeaway, the club now goes a long way inside there. So that club's now way over there. If we match that up with where your club would come into impact, that's it in the foam finger. So you're kind of pushing away, as you said, is creating that feeling of the club now working back that way. Top of the backswing, great position. This one here now with that massive sort of shoulder turn there, that club's going to cross the line a little bit more over there. So when you then come back into the golf ball, the club now is coming in from this angle here. Everything's just working way out to the right there. And as you said, I'm not closing the club face. You'd have to close the club face just almost impossible amounts to get that ball to target, yeah? So what you end up getting there is a ball going to go miles out to the right there. And just, I mean, that club just before impact there, you can see the shaft way on the inside, that club face there. I mean, it's kind of, that's your path into the golf ball. So that angle there, that's how far on the inside you were. Whereas this one here, now as we come back in the golf ball, you see the club now coming back down, more in front of you here, nicely in line there, missing the foam finger, coming back through the target. Everything now is working on a slightly curved path there, which again, following that foam finger, it works around and to the left. And when you finish this swing, that feeling of turning and completing it, you got around there. Really, really good move. And the ball kind of went where you were swinging that club to, yeah? Whereas this one just kind of disappeared off, and that was a miss to be fair, but the other ones are sort of going way over here as you were just hitting the ball kind of way underneath there. Now, with the driver, you wouldn't hit the ground behind the golf ball because you're not hitting the ground really, are you? So what you get with the driver with that technique is a big old block to the right. With a chip shot or a small shot, when you're trying to hit the ground, your club's going to bottom out early, yeah? Because you're basically changing your circle effectively too far to the right, yeah? So if I have this stick here represents the arc of the golf ball, if I now turn it to the right, the low point now you can see is now moved further back, yeah? So that's the T peg there, that square. If I just turn that to the right, the low point now is behind the tee, yeah? If I move that to the left, the low point now goes left of the tee, yeah? So depending on where your arc is swinging towards will depend on where your low point is. So you'd find with your driver, you'd block it miles right. You'd find somewhere in the middle, around the 6 and the 7 that we saw pretty good. All right, yeah, they'd be a little bit matty first because you're coming in a bit shallower with a 6 or a 7 iron compared to a wedge or a 9 iron. It brushes the mat on a mat and we get a good result, and it kind of goes straight at a draw. Nice, yeah? You had a couple of strikes where you did really compress it, but it's going to be an okay shot no matter what you do, yeah? Then when you go to shorter clubs, when I chip it, you hit the ground on the ball. So you saw the skills challenge. The first couple of dinky ones were a little bit ground first. Then you got a little bit thin with some of the next shots, okay? Then you found a nice little groove in the middle, yeah? Sort of 5 shots, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sort of shots on the skills challenge. And the last 4 with the woods were just like, yeah, gone. Yeah. Master, right, okay? So getting that sensation of where that club is swinging around, okay? Now, you can pick up one of those noodles for next something on the thing, or you can put a head cover down there, or just put something on the ground there. Something fairly soft, obviously, because every now and then you will hit it. So just to give you what some people you possibly could do, to get some tee pegs and like draw put some tees on the ground there just to give you a visual. Again, it's not a straight line, it's going to be a slight curve. Not a good drawing there, but you can see it was a slight curvature with that noodle, and make sure it's curving the correct way, not the red line there where it's going that way, and certainly not going over there, yeah? Equally, you don't want to go that way. There's too far right, too far left, and the wrong curve. What we're looking for is that club to be curving on a sort of slight arc this way, so the club would curve back this way, it'd curve through and go there. You are making a circle just because the fact you're stood to the side of the golf ball. There's no straight lines in the golf swing. To you, it felt as though, I think you said you were pushing it out. Yeah. No, the key thing with that is if we look, if pushing it back is the feeling now, and if we look at this swing here on the right hand side, you would hopefully agree you are not pushing that club away. Your hands are definitely moving, as they should do, this way. Yeah, they curve in and around that way, so the hands aren't pushing away. Now, as you turn your torso, what you'll find, this is the moment that feels pushing away. When this becomes natural, if you keep thinking push it away, your hands eventually will start pushing away. So that's where you've got to be careful with swing clubs. At the moment, to get the club working on a better path, it feels as though you're wider and further away than where you were. All right? you need to sort of just keep a measure on check of that. So whether that means sort of send a few videos over or just keep checking things, okay, right, am I in the right spot now? Because what we don't want is you just spend a lot of time with the driver, feeling or push it out, and then in 3 or 4 weeks' time, you actually are pushing the club over here somewhere, and then you're wicking it over that. Exactly, yeah. So that's why I always say to guys, if you're down the range hitting balls, just send a quick vid, even if you just film it yourself, and you'll see, yeah. When you set your video up there, make sure it starts down the hands line of the golf swing there, okay? If you put it down the golf club line or the ball line, it will look different and look wrong, and then you start changing to that, which will cause you to push it even further away. So yeah, make sure you're sort of setting up the camera correctly. But at the moment, push away is correct, but that I think might change in the time, because you think, well, I'm not going to push it away because I don't want to push it away. It just feels pushed away now because you were so far kind of acutely coming back on the... Yeah, you were swinging back kind of in here, so pushing it away straight feels like I'm pushed it over there more. I'm further away, yeah?
Keep pushing.
But that in time might become not the case. Does that make sense, yeah? Cool.